He stomped a pensioner to death just 3 days after being discharged from Auckland Hospital's mental health unit. But today the jury dismissed Gabriel Yad-Elohim's defence of insanity when they found him guilty of the murder of 69-year-old Michael Mulholland. Yad-Elohim had a blank look on his face and stared straight ahead as the verdict was read out. Our reporter Edward Gay has been following the case and he joins me now. Edward, he had a history of mental health.
That's right. He's been discharged. He'd been discharged from Auckland's hospital's mental health unit, Te Whetū Tāwera, just these 3 days before the killing. They knew he took methamphetamine. There was traces of the Class A drug in the urine sample that he gave during his stay. And the authorities, though, couldn't force him to get help for his drug use. And when the hospital later became full, Yad-Elohim was discharged to a community respite centre. And he left. He stayed there, I think, one night. And when he left, he left his medication there. Packets were found. The blister packets were found, and he made his way to Karangahape Road, and pretty much immediately went looking for drugs.
So this case has really come down to what his health was like at the time.
That's right. And essentially, the jury had to decide between two experts. They had the Crown expert psychiatrist on the one side and the defence expert psychiatrist on the other. The Crown psychiatrist, Peter Dean, he acknowledged Yad-Elohim's mental health history that includes schizophrenia, but he said Yad-Elohim had been ripped off in this drug deal. He'd given a woman $200 to get methamphetamine in this Western Springs area, and the woman basically ran off with his money. And Dr. Dean said despite Yad-Elohim's history of mental health, Yad-Elohim was feeling betrayed. He was angry that he was ripped off in this drug deal, and that was the basis for this horrific assault, which the CCTV footage that was played to the jury, there's 91 strikes to the body of Mr. Mulholland as he lay on the ground.
But a defence psychiatrist expert disagreed.
That's right. James Kavanagh found it was likely Yad-Elohim was hearing voices before the attack and even during the attack. And he said Yad-Elohim believed he was a messenger of God. The day after the attack, when he was arrested by the police, he was taken into Auckland Central just across the road here. And that interview was recorded on DVD. And it shows him at one point during the police interview turning to the corner of the room and lifting up his cup and toasting someone or something in the corner of the room. Nothing's there. And at the end of this recording, the police left the room and Yad-Elohim appears to be talking to the spirit of Mr. Mulholland.
But the jury didn't find him insane. That's
right, and basically the Crown's argument that was that Yad-Elohim acted out of revenge for being ripped off, and the Crown prosecutor, Kirsten Lummis, she said it was significant Yad-Elohim headed straight back to Karangahape Road after the attack to get methamphetamine. As soon as this jury's verdict came down, Yad-Elohim is being remanded off to Auckland's secure psychiatric unit, the Mason Clinic. He's due to be sentenced next month. I also spoke to the coroner's office. The coroner obviously looks into unexplained sudden deaths, and the coroner can also make comments and recommendations about a death. And a spokesperson for the coroner, she said a decision on whether or not an inquest into Mr. Mulholland's death is yet to be made.
Thanks very much, Edward. That's our court reporter, Edward Gay.